With almost 2 years under our belts, exploring the islands and the cities and the cultures of the Philippines, there was still that one experience that stayed at the top of our bucket list until this year. And that's the famous mango festival of Guimaras. And we finally ate our weight in the sweetest mangoes in the world, but with so much more to explore in that beautiful region, we took full advantage of our 4 days and 3 nights around IloIlo to devour every site and every bite we could get our hands on. So we flew into IloIlo from Manila, which of course, super easy, super affordable.
Our flights were like under $100 per person. I think it was like $45 each way.
Now the main reason we wanted to visit IloIlo was of course for the Mango Festival.
Yeah, because if you've seen any of our previous episodes, you would see that I am obsessed with mangoes. I truly think that there's no better taste on the planet than a Philippines mango. But I have a little reveal I'm gonna let you in on later in this episode. We're gonna meet our guide from Southwest Tours. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Jim. I'll be your guide. Yeah, Jim.
Jim, our guide all day?
Yeah, I guide all day going to the province.
I'm Phil.
I'm Phil. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I see your vlogs. Aaron? Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Cool,
Good
right?
morning.
Yes, thank you.
We also have our driver with us. It's Ed. He's gonna be driving us in this van pretty much all day, except when we go to Guimaras, the only way to get there is on the water. There are no bridges, and like I said yesterday, there are no airports, so we've got to take a boat to get there. Oh, this is so interesting. I was wrong. We really won't be getting out of this car pretty much at all because the car is going on the boat to Guimaras. We're backing into a ferry, and we're just gonna stay in the car. And it'll take us about 15 minutes to cross over to the island. We made it! We're on the island! Welcome to Guimaras! So I think I pronounced it wrong naturally. I say Guimaras, but it's Guimaras? Guimaras.
I do have to say is we try to pick up more and more Filipino or Tagalog. It's very counterintuitive how to do the accents or the emphasis on many words. Like, I think with my background in some Spanish, I always want to take guesses on which syllables would have the emphasis based on that experience, but it seems like it's almost always incorrect. For example, salamat. I would think that it is salamat or Guimaras, but it's Guimaras. It's like very, very difficult to guess. I think it's a very tricky language to learn just for that one reason alone. This is our first time visiting any wind farm anywhere in the world, and I have to say it's always very fascinating because the windmills look like they're very small from a distance. It's one of those things that's just very misleading. But we've seen semi-trucks taking the parts down highways, and it's just crazy like how long each one of these blades are. In fact, these are 45 meters long each. And when the prop goes to its uppermost position, it's about 125 meters off of the ground. They're absolutely massive, and when you stand here, you can hear the turbine inside of there, the generator piece that's just making the noise and generating the electricity as the prop spins.
Guimaras is trying to be more than mangoes. Their tagline now is mangoes and more. So they're into other industries, other different kinds of fruits, and this power industry. So it doesn't just power for Guimaras Island, it goes to the Philippine national power grid. Each one of these turbines has a number, and they are numbered 1 through 28, but there are actually only 27 of them. Why do you think that is?
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments, exactly.
We're in the municipality of San Lorenzo, and right now it's pretty dry and brown for as far as the eye can see, at least on the ground. These are rice fields. Now in the rainy season, it would be very green and lush for as far as the eye can see. All these windmills are numbered 1 through 28, but there are only 27 of them. Why is that?
One of them broke.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
guess.
Good guess. Cole, come here, buddy. These windmills are numbered 1 through 28, but there are only 27 total. Why is that?
Let me guess. They took down number 1. Number 1.
You think they took down number
got
1?
Pushed over.
Ooh, one broke.
Excellent guesses, but that's not it. It's actually for the same reason in a hotel. They skip floor 13, and on an airplane, they skip row 13 because people think it's bad luck.
Bruh.
Before we get to all the mangoes, we're gonna check out the island a little bit more because like I said, there's more than just mangoes here. Guimaras is also known for their beautiful beaches, coves and snorkeling and stuff like that. So I think we're gonna get back out on the water, but this time without the van. So pretty! This is our boat! This is Natago Beach. In the local dialect, Natago means hidden. And we came in through this like narrow rocks that come in on each side, so it is a little bit hidden. Time to dip into the water a little bit. Oh, Colt's already in. It's so refreshing. I'm sure the water is actually probably really warm, but the contrast to how hot it is, it feels cool, and it's a nice cool off because it's starting to get really hot. We got our little jungle cats over here trying to climb up the walls because they're in the mood for a little cliff jumping. And they were told they can't do it from over there because it's too shallow, so they think, oh, I know, let's do it where it's even more shallow. 1, 2, 1.
Yet another very beautiful area here in the Philippines, and it's really incredible what a variety of like landscapes you have going from island to island, place to place. I don't feel like we've ever seen this type of rock formation in this area or anywhere else. The water though is so perfectly clear and beautiful. It's almost like a mini Boracay over here. Very mini.
Enough cliff jumping, we're gonna go to the next stop.
We're stopping off here to do a little snorkeling through a cave. In fact, it's like probably one of the world's shortest underwater caves. We're gonna go in here, and we're gonna come out right over here. Even Aaron can make this swim.
Rude. They seem to do a lot of things on the small side in Guimaras. They have the smallest town plaza in the Philippines. It's the smallest in all of the Western Visayas region. And then now that it has maybe the smallest underwater cave. Ah, we're gonna get kids in. Now remember, keep your mouth closed and face down. You don't want to accidentally swallow some of that guano. So cool. It really is very short. It's so beautiful. So pretty. That was awesome. Super cool compared to the Puerto Princesa Underground River. It's one of the 7 new wonders of nature, but it's really a different experience to be swimming in it yourself.
I've been wanting to jump in the water off the front of the boat, so I asked them to stop the boat, and they're gonna let me.
I'm so glad he got that out of the system. He has been asking us if he can jump off the boat for a while, but we hadn't been in deep enough water yet. And now that sparked another. Brooklyn wants to go.
We need to get a boat.
I could absolutely live on the water. But for now, let's go get on the land. Ah, dry land. Now, let's talk about mangoes. Lunch is at Olivia's Kitchen, and it's one of the primo restaurants here on the island. And I'm gonna try and find as many mango dishes as I can, even if it's supposed to be savory.
We've been told that one of the mango dishes you have to get when you're in Guimaras is a mango pizza. So we've got our order in for that, and while they're cooking that thing up, we're gonna start off with this pretty incredible seafood platter, and of course, a bowl of white rice.
So now I love the tentacles on squid, if you don't already know that. So I'm gonna get all of the tentacles and the head on the inside. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I just now noticed it. I didn't see it.
It's stuffed. It's actually, I can tell it's stuffed squid. There's like, some maybe veggies and stuff.
I approve of the squid.
So pizza toppings are a bit of a controversial subject. There is a debate over whether pineapple belongs in a pizza or not. I believe it does, if that's what you want. No?
It doesn't.
I don't know. And I think if you can do pineapple, you can do mango.
Mango was only okay in the Philippines. It's like cheese and mango. It's a good combination. I like it.
Yeah? So mango does belong on a pizza?
In the Philippines, yes. Anywhere else, probably not.
Looks like they've got all the mango pieces on the bottom above the thin crust, and then cheese is on top of it. Colt's right that it almost tastes like a creamy mango flavor. I mean, I love it because I love everything mango. It's like the best flavor in the world. So why not on a pizza? Why not? Mango cheesecake. Oh, this looks awesome. Thank you.
I'm so excited. I love mango so much. Oh, it's so good, but I don't know what it tastes like. It's amazing. Definitely mango.
Cheesecake?
Super creamy. There's something about the cheesecakes here in the Philippines and a lot of other places in Asia where it really just tastes like cheese. Like you can actually taste cheese in the cheesecake. It's pretty cool.
So it has this like mango sauce on the top, and then it looks like there are chunks of mango on the inside. That is delicious. That is a strong mango sauce flavor. Last stop before the mango festival. Let's eat some mangoes! It is about time. So we are finally here at the Mango Festival, and it's really mostly a trade show. So there's gonna be a lot of different mango products among some other things.
Do you know what hopia is?
Yeah.
Hopia.
Yeah, hopia. They have it, the mango
I
version.
remember when we had this in Puerto Princesa, not the mango one, but ooh, those do look pretty good. Yeah, oh, do you remember we had these in Tagaytay?
That's the spicy one.
This is mango sauce. Actually, this is one.
Mango sauce. We got mango jam, mango ketchup, spicy mango ketchup, dried mangoes, spicy dried mangoes, mango everything.
I'm pretty interested in this spicy mango ketchup. I think I gotta get a bottle. Hi. Thank you. That was only 70 pesos, and let me look in the US, it is 12 cents. No, $1.23. No way, they have mango wine. What? 11% alcohol. Holy smokes. 12% alcohol on the dragon fruit. Why does dragon fruit have more? You know what, I bet Colt probably knows the answer. Here we are at the Lockwood Mango Eating Contest. We have Brooklyn to my left. I am center.
And the best one.
Colt's to the right.
I'm gonna eat 9
Now,
mangoes.
here are the rules. First of all, we have 10 mangoes here, so if we need more, we'll just buy more. We're starting with 10. It is not a speed contest because we don't want anybody to choke, but we are gonna count and see who eats more mangoes. Now, we have 2 different methods. Brooklyn has the slice method, and you still have to eat the centerpiece, okay? And Colt and I are gonna go with the pinch and peel method. All right, guys, remember, it's not about speed, it's about quality.
Okay. You wanna go?
Ready? We can go.
But you can't leave behind any mango at all. You have to have every last morsel.
We're all good, yeah, we're gonna do our best. And the peel method seems to be working pretty well for me. Oh, man. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so stinking good. Now, Guimaras says that they have the sweetest mangoes. They claim the sweetest mangoes, but so does Palawan. And you really can never compare them because on Palawan, you cannot let any of the mangoes leave that province. But here, they don't allow any other mangoes or pests to come onto the island because they don't want it to change their amazing sweet mangoes. Now they do a ton of quality control here. If you want to sell mangoes as a Guimaras mango, they will do a sweetness test on it before they allow you to sell it. And you know, some mangoes, when you bite into it, are really fibrous, and you have like those strings that get caught in your teeth, but not these. There's really very little of that.
Ripping into the guts of mangoes.
Now, this is gonna be interesting because I am very competitive. So is Phil. This means these guys are also very competitive. Are we on our third?
Yeah. I'm on my phone everywhere.
I have a feeling that if it's a contest on cleanliness, that I'm gonna win. Oh my God.
Every time I take a bite of a new mango, I feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Then let's not do it. Let's see, how'd we do? Colt, how many mangoes did you eat?
3, but I could have eaten 4.
But also he feels sick at the same time. I had 3 mangoes. Brooklyn, How about you? How many mangoes?
This is my 4th mango.
I think the mango queen is Brooklyn. Congratulations.
Guess what you win?
More mangoes?
Okay, 1 mango shake and 2 cold waters. This is how I do mangoes. Actually, I do mangoes any which way. If I wasn't a little bit afraid of getting brain freeze, I would seriously just down this entire thing right now. It tastes so refreshing. It is so warm out here. It's so sweet naturally. I said you could get it with sugar or without sugar, but I'm like, why would you add sugar to such a sweet mango flavor? Plus, it's getting a little bit of saltiness mixed in with it because of the sweat on my lip. Well, very clearly, Brooklyn is the mango queen.
Which is surprising because of how much I love mangoes.
Well, I think we just underestimated how much she loves them too.
But in my defense, I ate so much at lunch. She really didn't eat as much as I did. So I was pretty stuffed by the time we started eating mangoes.
Well, that is pretty typical for Brooklyn, I guess. But I think it's probably a pretty good thing that you didn't end up eating too much because you discovered something new about yourself, right?
Yes, it is tragic. I could not understand why every time we were in the Philippines, I would get a rash, and not just like around my mouth, it was around my eyes. And then after the mango festival, I even had a rash on my abdomen, on my arms. It was all over my body because I am allergic to mangoes. But interesting enough, I've learned that most people are because the mango tree is in the poison ivy family, but I have a particular sensitivity to mangoes. So whenever I've been eating mangoes or touching the skin, the flesh, or the pit, I've been breaking out in rashes and like weird on my eyes, right?
Poison ivy family.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Also cashews.
Cashews,
Are
mango,
in the poison, yeah,
poison ivy.
same family.
2 of them are so good to eat.
I know.
Yeah, goats eat the third, but... Well, we couldn't go all the way to IloIlo just for the Mango Festival. We really wanted to see what this area called the Heart of the Philippines was all about.
We're doing an IloIlo history and cultural tour today. And they're pulling up right now. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Hey. I'm Erin.
Hi, Roy.
Roy,
Roy?
nice to meet you.
I'm Phil.
Hi,
Are you our guide today?
Yeah, I'll be getting you.
Okay.
Hi.
We can release some of the couch first. We have here in the house.
We're meeting Roy for the first time today, but we get to spend another day with our driver, Ed. He took us all around Guimaras yesterday.
Guimaras.
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 Our first stop on this little historical tour is a house from the mid-1800s. It was a residence of one of the richest families at the time, and they went on to become one of the most popular families of the time. In fact, this was the childhood family home of a Marikit Havaiana who went on to actually marry the vice president of the Philippines at the time. He was a Lopez, and his brother started the very first television network in the Philippines.
ABS-CBN.
ABS-CBN. And this is a raised home.
Bahay na bato. And it still follows the pattern of the indigenous house, the Bahay Kubo, wherein it is raised higher to avoid flooding, and at the same time the lower portion is a multi-purpose. So that area used to be their bank, and this used to be the garage of the house.
The seating in here is also historical. They would have that because it was sort of a class level, that if you're on the ground floor, you can't go up higher if you are poor or you aren't wealthy enough. So even family members that didn't own that class level, they would have to stay down here. Well, these benches are super interesting. They're multi-purpose. They're not just for people sitting. They also had, because of the Spanish influence, there was cockfighting, which was a big pastime, and they would put razor blades on the legs of the chickens, and if you had like a good fighting chicken, you would love that chicken and carry it around with you. And if you visited this house and you had your chicken with you, you would put it in here to like wait while you visited with the family or went into the home if you were invited up. It was a very superstitious era, so the steps have a superstition to them. You would count them, ora, flata, mata. And if you ended the last step on a mata, that was very bad luck. So that's why they added the first step at the very bottom is not wood, so it doesn't count towards the steps. So you go ora, flata, mata, each step up the stairs.
That was actually Mexican influence, not Spanish for that.
They have a really old German grandfather clock that is still functional, and this is its chime. Every 15 minutes, it chimes like this. So creepy. We're arguing because this photo here, Roy is telling us that the eyes follow you, and it's so true. I'm standing right here, and I feel like he's staring right at me. And then I move, and his eyes are literally following me, and he's staring right at me over here as well. And like right in the middle, right at me. It's very spooky. Okay, Brooklyn's gonna show me something. Turn.
Look this way.
Oh, that's so creepy. She has no eyeballs, and her teeth are blended.
No, you come over this way and it's normal.
Oh my gosh, that is nuts. As you come closer and go to an angle, then her eyeballs and her mouth and everything appears. That's crazy. All of the items and the furniture in this home were originally owned by the owners throughout the time as it exchanged hands and stuff like that. So nothing is added after the family left the home.
Now, because the bank downstairs was owned by this family, they wanted to have easy access to it. And there's actually a little trap door right over here under this shoe rack. You can lift that up to take stairs right down into the bank. A lot of cool memorabilia in here. Here's the campaign pin with Lopez right here. And then you can see that he was vice president under Ferdinand Marcos Sr. And here's his vanity kit that he would take when traveling. Looks like everything's in its original condition. Wow, he used this comb in his hair. History is so fascinating.
This room was actually 2 bedrooms at the time, but it's staged as 1 bedroom now. And this is their typical dining hall. We're out here in the back garden and tons of chickens, and now I can't stop thinking about those benches where they would put their chickens before going inside. But we're gonna head to the next stop.
Let's go check out the cathedral.
So this is Haro Cathedral, and it's most known for this little structure in the front that's a glass enclosed Mary, which here they call the Lady of Candles, probably because of a bunch of candles in there with her. The construction of this place is coral blocks, but it's held together with a mortar that was made from egg whites and limestone, like dust essentially. So back when they were building it, every time they would do mass, worshipers would have to bring 1 block, 1 coral block, and 1 egg. And it would take about 10 years under that method to construct the entire place.
Eggs, lime, now I'm hungry.
Not that kind of lime.
I know. This is beautiful. Wow, look at all these statues on the side. Good morning. Looks like we accidentally walked in on a wedding. So we're going upstairs to get a different perspective and maybe get a little bit further away from the intimate ceremony. But we're also getting closer to the Lady of Candles, and we learned that Pope John II came here in... Pope John Paul II came here in 1981, and she is the only Mary that's been crowned by the Pope.
So our understanding is that this platform and these stairs didn't even exist until Pope John Paul II came in for that first visit in 1981. So they built it specifically for that visit. But my understanding is also that this Mary was actually pulled by a fisherman's net from the ocean or sea or some body of water after it fell off of a Spanish ship, Spanish galleon maybe? I don't know.
And I guess they forgot to build the roof. We're gonna get out of this hot sun, back into the van, head to the next stop. We're at the old Capitol building of IloIlo, and it was built by the Americans. So there is a long history of different colonizations and governments established in the Philippines, and IloIlo plays a big part in a lot of that. Because as all of you probably know, that in the 1500s, it was colonized by Spain, and that lasted 300 years. And there was a revolution against Spain that was delayed here in IloIlo because their way of life was so easy and comfortable. They were happy with the way things were. But as the revolution progressed and the Americans came in and they turned a corner for the revolution and basically won over Spain, the Spanish came here to Iloilo to surrender because they felt like this would be the safest place for them to surrender, because they felt as if they treated the people of Iloilo so well, they would have that treatment in return and they wouldn't be harmed.
This is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, Capitol buildings in the Philippines. And it happens to stand right in front of the 0 kilometer fountain out here, which serves as the main reference point for the entire island.
All right, we're gonna shake out of here. It's a new phrase I learned from Phil. Let's shake into the van again. We just passed the Molo church. It's actually right across the street from where we are right now. And we can see those red pointy towers from our hotel room at the Richmond. But we are actually at the Molo mansion here.
This mansion was originally, of course, a real residence, like back in the mid-1800s, when Iloilo was known as kind of the center of the sugarcane or sugar industry here. So this place was owned by a sugar baron. In fact, it's part of a little coffee table book over here called Houses That Sugar Built. But it became abandoned when the owner of this home died in the early 2000s. And then it wasn't until SM bought this entire area of land and discovered that the historical significance of this particular building meant they could not tear it down and redevelop the area, so instead they restored it and built it into what it is today.
This area's sugar export dominance in North America ended in the 1980s because it was taken over by high fructose corn syrup.
Oh, that's nice, thanks buddy. Now this mansion is called Cultura and it sells a genuine Filipino product, so it's still part of the SM umbrella, it's just not one of their highly developed mall areas.
And I'm also getting a little souvenir from here. It's pretty cheap. It's a cool little bracelet. Alright, I've just got to get out these little creases. And then I can tighten it to be however tight I would like it to be. Pretty good. It's got a bit of string on the bottom, but nothing wrong with some string. I like it.
Very fringy. I guess that's our cue. We're heading out. We're just learning so much, hopping from one historical building to the next. But this house was not built on sugar. It's Kaminya Balay Nga Bato, and it was built on weaving. Textiles is another industry that helped Iloilo become what it was. And right behind me, they're using a method, she's using one of their weaving methods. It's called habal. They do more than just weaving in this house. They also make chocolate, which we're gonna go up and taste. They make it straight from the cacao seed.
It smells amazing in here. Like, smell the air.
Yeah, you can smell the chocolate.
Ooh, tastes like a chicken noodle soup, but it has like, it's like this ramen chicken flavor.
It's actually pancit molo, and it's the #1 dish that people kept commenting and saying we had to try when we come to Iloilo. And I believe that because it's a dumpling soup, and I believe that the dumpling part of it came from the Chinese influence. It's basically like a noodle chicken soup. Is it made with chicken or pork? It's made with combined chicken and pork. It's just like something I would want on a cold day, which you probably don't get in the Philippines.
I'm dipping this in my chocolate.
Is it hot chocolate?
I don't know. It doesn't taste like hot chocolate.
No?
Now I'm gonna try it with one of the little biscottis. It's very chocolatey. It's almost as if it's just chocolate. No milk. It doesn't taste like there's much of anything else. I approve, it's really good.
Based on what the kids are saying, I kind of expect this to be like the hot chocolate that we had in Barcelona, little chocolate factory there. Yes, very, very thick. Roy just told me that the proper way to do this is with pinky out. That's good.
Is yours watered down or thick?
I think it's pretty thick, which is good. That means we get to stay, because Roy was telling us that traditionally, if you water down the chocolate, it means that they don't want you to stay. It's your time to go. It's like the, without using your words, the polite way to say, get out of my house. You're not welcome anymore. We're gonna head to another stop, and I'm gonna esplanade it to you later. Phil says no, that's not a good one. Explain, esplanade. We're at the start of the esplanade. Esplanade.
This is a 10-kilometer long river, although technically it's not even a river. It's where the sea comes in during high tide and then backs out during low tide. So it's more like a really long, narrow bay or something, I suppose. In 2015, they started the cleanup of the banks of the river to turn it into this really cool walking path. I mean, it just goes on for days and days. And it is now recognized as one of the cleanest rivers in the world. They took all of the existing buildings and residences that were right on the bay and relocated all of those because they found that those were really one of the prime sources of the pollution for the river. So by moving those, they got rid of that, cleaned up the bay, put in all this incredible landscaping, all of the paver stone walkways, and now it's this gorgeous feature that the entire city gets to enjoy on a daily basis.
And I believe I found a little mango tree right here. I believe there's two. I think this one's a mango tree and a very small one. It looks like a mango tree to me, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Woo, it is a hot day and we're gonna get back to the AC in the van and we're gonna have some poor man's soup. We're gonna have some bachoy, which is a very interesting dish.
So this is called puta, I believe. It's puto, it's called puto. So instead of the bad word in Spanish, it's little rice buns. And they feel very cloudy, almost like pop, which is something you can try in Africa. It smells like rice and bread. Tastes like super sweet bread. It's very sweet. I really like it.
And this is our bachoy. They call it the poor man's soup. One, because it's made from the pork intestine, so using the parts that are sometimes less desirable. And also, you can order as much of the broth as you'd like. So some people will just work on that broth, sip away, and not touch the noodles or the meat, and then ask for more broth. So you can basically have an endless amount. It's all you can eat. The broth is called caldo. I'm gonna give that a little try. Really flavorful, and you're supposed to have a taste of the broth first, and if you want to add salt, you add the soy sauce, and then there's also pepper. I always add a little pepper, and then I'm just gonna add a little soy sauce. Just a little to get a little more salt taste. Ooh, there's like a lot in here. All right, so with this bite, I think I have a little bit of everything, like a little bit of noodle. There's an intestine right there, and then, is that meat?
Pork meat.
Some meat. I love the crunchiness from the crackling, which is a great texture to have with the intestines because that's so soft. And this is considered the IloIlo signature dish. Ooh, and these are egg noodles.
It's interesting. Tastes like the broth, honestly. It has a little aftertaste of like the chicken intestines. Tastes kind of the same, very similar. Oh, the noodles are to die for. These noodles are amazing. Tastes like a sandy or maybe an overcooked piece of pork. Not in a bad way, it's got a different taste too.
While Colt's chowing down on the bachoy, I picked up these rice cakes and I've been dipping it in the sauce, the broth. It's really good. Really is like a bread, so it absorbs it. This is my favorite bite.
I think a lot of those pieces that we were thinking were meat are not meat, and they are also innards. I bet I would think that this was a whole lot better on any other day, but having just had that pancit, I just think there's no contest. And granted, this is poor man's soup or whatever, so maybe you would expect it to not be quite as tasty, but that was just a phenomenal broth, and the dumplings in there were phenomenal. I'm a pancit guy. Colt, are you pancit or bachoy?
Bachoy.
Really?
Yes.
All right. What about you, Ben?
The pancit. That just tasted like comfort food. Just so mild and flavorful and just filled me up. It was delicious. Let's get going. We're back at our hotel. Our half-day tour is over, so it's time to say goodbye to Roy. Thank you so much. We appreciate everything you did for us today.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It.
So now we'll show you where we're staying. We're staying at the Richmond Hotel, which is a really great central location, but we'll show you around a little bit first. Granary, that's where we're having breakfast each morning, so they have a breakfast buffet, and we also had a really nice dinner here our first evening, so you have to check out that other episode for that. I think that's their only main restaurant. And right across on the other side of the lobby is Biz Bar. It's closed right now. It'll be open, I think, in the evening, but I think they're gonna have good cocktails because in the restaurant, Phil and I had a really good tasting martini. Let's head up and check out the pool area.
This is the fitness center, which is open 24 hours, yay. And it's got plenty of cardio equipment, a couple of bikes, a couple of ellipticals, and then cable machines. So you can get pretty much any type of workout that you want in here.
And we got the Zambanya bar and swimming pool that's open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Ooh, we've got some nice views up here. So we are on the 7th floor, so we get a nice little perspective of the festive mall. It looks like it would be an infinity edge pool. Maybe it is, but it's got that guard railing there. I like the temperature. It's not freezing, but it's just cool enough to cool you down. So our room is somewhere up here, but we did a tour of that in our last episode, so you can check that out. Now, if you look over this view, we're actually looking at the old airport. And so this strip right here, I think was supposed to be the landing strip, but it was a little bit too short for the development of the types of planes and flights that were coming in. So they had to relocate the airport so that they can build a much larger landing strip. So Mega World came in and they developed this township here. So a lot of these apartments, the mall right there, it's all built by Mega World, including the Brandy Museum. And Phil and I are headed on a little outing to go there.
The old runway that was here was about 1.5 kilometers, and the new one at the new airport is about 2.5 kilometers, so a lot more capabilities.
And more is from Richmond Hotel, and they partner with Southwest Tours, so together they're gonna take us to a couple of museums. Okay, let's go. You know, this is only about 2 blocks from our hotel. It was really convenient to have the air conditioning in the van, but anybody could walk. It's super, super close. Lots to do around here.
This is the IloIlo Museum of Contemporary Art, and it's 3 levels. The top 2 being more permanent installations, art installations. But the first one here behind me, the Haro Gallery, is rotating, I think, monthly with different works.
I almost failed.
We're on the 2nd floor, and all the artwork here are made by students and teachers and other faculty of the University of San Agustin, Bachelor of Fine Arts, because it's their 20th anniversary. This is art right here. It is a plate with a single grain of rice, and it's supposed to represent the inflation and how resources are becoming more and more expensive here in the Philippines. And it reminds me of our trip to Bohol, where Phil wanted us to impromptu pull over the side of the road and learn how the rice was harvested because we saw some field workers. They let us try and chop it and go through the process ourselves, and it is a very difficult hands-on process that's grueling in the hot sun. So it takes a lot of work to make 1 grain of rice. We know that.
And I think this one is actually like gold to represent the cost of everything, including the main staple of the Philippines being rice. So.
Up here on the 3rd floor, everything is owned by one collector. Many different artists, but an artist fanatic is actually his mother, Adoracion V. Valencia, who is the big art fanatic, and so he named this floor after her.
There's a lot of really good works of art in here, but another thing I really like about it is that it's so accessible. Like, you could come in here and within space of 1 hour, be able to see everything and then go on to your next activity. It doesn't have to be a 2 or 3 day affair like a lot of art museums we've been to. Now we are off to a different kind of museum next door. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This is the Brandy Museum. It's with the same owner, Mega World, as the museum we went to next door. Brandy, that's the sweeter one, right? Or am I thinking of sherry?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out. I'm hoping we can do a little tasting. Fundador 1800, the oldest brandy bottles. There are about 200 antique bottles that were discovered. It's got 60% alcohol. And this is the family of founders, but the business was really launched by Pedro. The name Fundador means founder.
And now for the highlight of the tour, we're doing a brandy tasting.
I'm not sure we've had a whole lot of brandy, if any at all. I feel like I can't remember when we were in South Africa if that was sherry or brandy that we tasted in our room. It was sherry. It was very sweet. But I am learning that I didn't realize brandy was made from grapes. So it's kind of like a wine. I was thinking, when I see a dark liquor, I immediately think of whiskey.
The kiddos are a little bit frustrated because they're too young to try any brandies today.
I love these glasses.
Do not smell, do not sip. I'm going to teach you how to appreciate the aroma and taste for our bread.
Warming it from my hand by swishing it around for about 5 seconds or so. It will release the bouquet of aroma.
So the 3 S's start with sight. We're gonna look at it. Darker the color, the deeper the flavor.
Second S is smell. And so first you swirl it and you actually bring it to your chest. There we go. It tastes light, caramely maybe. Much better scent on that one. There is a lot of alcohol in there. My sinuses, if they weren't clear before, they're very clear now.
Salud. The third S is savor. So we're gonna start by taking less than a teaspoon and swishing it all around your mouth to get that coating all over every single taste bud, every area. And then we're going to inhale with the brandy still in your mouth and then breathe out through your nose.
That is interesting. I took such a small bite, or sip, and then it diluted with my saliva a bit, which I think made it more enjoyable because it was less pungent. Brandy is very strong. Like, it's a lot of like alcohol flavor. I can imagine like having a normal sip would be a bit much, but having a tiny sip and like diluting it a little bit with your saliva, it works. I enjoyed it. That whole process was just for the first sip, and then you can consume directly after that. We got all the flavors in that process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was a long, full day. We pretty much packed all that we could into one day.
But it was a great way to end that day by doing the Brandy Museum and tasting.
But in all honesty, I'm not sure you could tell by the video, I don't care for dark liquors. So the brandy was not my favorite. But I wanted to give it a really honest try. I certainly didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, I mean, our episodes aren't just for us, they're for our audience, and there are definitely a lot of Brandy fans out there who are watching.
But the museum part was really interesting because of its historical and cultural importance. The brandy really came from Spain, and as so many people know, Philippines was occupied by Spain for about 300 years, so there's just a lot of cultural infusion from Spain.
Yeah, everything from language to especially the food.
Speaking of food, we had to squeeze in a food tour. So we could not go to the heart of the Philippines, which is also a really well-known city for the food, without doing a food tour.
Well, and you and I weren't even the ones who originally came up with the idea for a food tour.
No, Colt is probably the biggest foodie in the family, and he was so excited about doing a food tour. He wanted to pretty much lead it, and he did all the research to figure out exactly what items he wanted to try. But unfortunately, Brooklyn didn't join us because she was a bit exhausted from the previous 2 days of doing full day tours. Totally understandable. Plus, we revealed in our other episode that we don't force them to be part of any episodes if they don't want to. It's her choice. So she wanted to stay in the hotel, and she was happy to do that.
Well, in the end, it was a great way for us to spend a little kind of one-on-two time with Colt for a change. I think that was special, but it was a limited amount of time anyway because we still had a plane to catch back to Manila. Hello!
Hi!
How are you doing?
Huge durian. It's giant.
Oh, wow, there are.
Look for a second. We're in Calle Real, the Spanish district.
We read that sometimes there's going to be a line out the door, and there is a line out the door now.
And one of the things that they're known for is meatballs on a stick.
And the other thing are their show pals. So they have a queen, which has bacon, Chinese sausage, egg. And then the king, instead of bacon and sausage, is ham. Can we get a meatball on a stick and a stay in? Yeah. And a clean show pao.
Cream, no cream, mom.
No clean?
Oh yes, jumbo is available.
Oh, no king?
Jumbo.
Oh my gosh, they're out of the queen and king show pao, so jumbo's the only one available. All right, we'll get the jumbo. So it has Chinese sausage, chicken, adobo with egg. That sounds good still. Okay. Yes, 45. So that order is 145 pesos.
Some of you are probably wondering where Brooklyn is, and after a couple of days being out and about in the heat, walking around, which is more of our thing, not so much her thing, we gave her the choice to either stay in our hotel suite or come out for this little food crawl, and she chose to hang out in the aircon. So we'll be back with her in just a little bit. In the meantime, we are out enjoying our very last day in IloIlo.
Plus, she's always been such a trooper with past experiences, but she is our least adventurous person in our family when it comes to food. So I'm not surprised, like food tours probably aren't her favorite.
But food tours are definitely my favorite.
Oh yeah, he eats the craziest things. Like what are some of the crazy things you've tried?
I've eaten balut in Cebu City, and back in Manila, I've tried like a reversed balut where it's a 1-day-old fried chick.
Yep. And also what was the name of the woodworm when we were in Puerto Princesa?
That was the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
We try not to use the word disgusting if we don't like it. It's just something he didn't care for, right, bud?
I hated it.
I don't understand how they're supposed to find us. We don't have like a placard or anything, or even a number, right?
They asked for my name.
You ask for your name. I don't even hear them calling names out.
Mom's gonna go check on our food because it's been a hot second since we've ordered.
All right, I got the deets. So they serve us, we sit and wait, but they'll carry the tray around calling out your name. That's us. Salamat.
1 meatballs and 1 jumbo for 9.
Thank you. Is this sauce for the meatballs or the shopao?
Meatballs.
For the meatballs.
Shopao no need sauce.
Okay, perfect. That's a really important question. So we got served this little sauce packet, and I didn't know if it was for the meatballs or the shopao. Colt, this is your tour. Which one do you want to try first?
There's like a bao bun and then there's meatballs. I think I want to try the meatballs, but I do want to look at the sauce. I think it might be sweet and sour sauce. It smells like ketchup. It's peach ketchup.
Let me see. It does because it's vinegar, so, and it does have like a tomatoey taste to it. So interesting. Okay, let's see.
Okay, now we've got our little meatballs. I'm gonna try with the sauce first. That's really good. It tastes like it has a lot of vegetables in it, like a vegetable meatball. It's really good. Mom?
All right. Yep. Do you like the sauce? Love the texture because it's really crispy on the outside. You can tell, you can see them over there making them fresh. So it's probably just recently deep fried, crispy on the outside, and then the texture on the inside. I feel like it's two different meats, to be honest, and it's blended. It's good. I see why these are so famous.
Yeah, Dad. I actually genuinely think the sauce is like peach flavored. I think it's peach ketchup. Here, try it, Dad. Tell me. You would know. Just dip your finger in it.
I don't know, buddy. I think your palate's way more sophisticated than mine when it comes to that sort of thing. I can't tell. Make a flat side there, get plenty of the sauce on it. I mean, I think it tastes like chicken, but I need to ask somebody. Yeah, it's crispy on the outside like a hush puppy. Probably don't have hush puppies anywhere in the Philippines, so maybe only our US-based overseas workers and Filipinos would have any idea what I'm talking about. But that's like a cornmeal kind of fritter that's very deep fried. It looks exactly the same as this on the outside, and the texture is the same because it's just that crispy, and then inside's kind of soft and grainy. But excuse me, what kind of meat is this? Chicken, pork? Just pork? Thank you. All right, so pork. Clearly a fair amount of filler going on, but you know, who cares? Like, the pork is good, the filler is good. It's a nice meatball texture. It's a very satisfying little bite, just like a hush puppy.
And now for the jumbo shopao.
I saw people as we passed by, they're eating it like a hamburger that's, you know, all enclosed.
Looks like a curry paste. It tastes like a curry in a bao bun. It's also got some like bacon or something.
Pork, Chinese sausage.
Oh, pork. Wanna try?
I would love to try. I think the only difference between this and the queen is the queen would have some bacon along with the Chinese sausage, but this has Chinese sausage in it as well. That bun is really sweet. It's so fluffy, it almost dissipates in your mouth. One thing I'm not a fan of is like a hamburger or hot dog that has too much of the bread. It overpowers any of the other ingredients, and that's not like this at all. It's a perfect balance of the bread being so light and it doesn't take over. It's delicious.
Yeah, to build off of that, I feel like I've gotten some of these maybe at 7-Eleven. I don't know if those are Shopao proper, but a very similar bun concept. And very often, as much as we love 7-Eleven, that's exactly what happens with those. It's almost all bun and very little filling. Not the case with this. You can see so many different types of filling in there. Look at that, after that bite, there's even more layers. That's delicious. By the way, I noticed these little red dots on the buns, even at 7-Eleven. Tell us what those mean.
I think maybe that's where they like inject it and put in all of the food, like the meat and stuff.
My guess is that's supposed to indicate what flavor it is. Since it's like covered, you can't see the inside, so then after it's cooked, you know which one's the queen, the king, the jumbo, etc.
I'm almost positive she's correct. The only thing is, I feel like the only color I ever see on there is the pinkish red, but I could be wrong. We'll find out.
Now we're going to the Merci Bake Shop, and it's only a 5-minute walk. Okay, thank you. It is.
Donut thing, yeah.
Yes.
What is it?
So it's called Bicho Bicho. It's a Filipino donut. That's one of the things that I really wanted to try today. So let's get it. What else?
Which one?
Right here.
This is the obi and this is the plain one.
Okay. Well, we just made a new friend. She's giving us all the good suggestions
Hi.
for this place. This is Lydia.
Hi.
And you can follow her on Facebook and Instagram. How do they follow you? What's your name?
Lydia. As Lydia vlog. Lydia Buenafe vlog. So
Right here.
Buena
right
Fe.
here, right here.
Now, thanks to Lydia, we know exactly what we want to get. We're grabbing some of this paella, ube paella. Oh, and it's warm.
It's called paella? Mm-hmm. Just like paella, the rice dish in Spain.
P-I-A-Y-A.
Paella.
Paella. That's what I said. And also the buko tart and cold special thing. What is it?
And Bicho Bicho.
Pizza Bicho. Mom, 74. 74 pesos.
That's so cheap.
For all that. They've got a nice little place to sit in the back here. And it's a little bit cooler. So, what should we try first, Cole?
Bicho Bicho.
And here's Cole's Bicho Bicho.
It's like a little donut.
Yeah. Here, take it out, show Daddy.
Okay, now let me try it. It's like a very buttery donut. Definitely got a different taste to it. It's like a saltier and butterier taste. Delicious.
You know I'm getting serious when I pull my hair back. I'm a little bit torn. What should I try first? The ube paella?
Paella.
Paella. Or the buku pie? Well, I got the buku pie in my hand, so I'm trying this. Now, I love things that have subtle flavors, and this is a subtle coconut flavor. It's so soft, but it also has chunks of coconut in there. So it adds like a little bit more dimension to the coconut flavor. It's good, and the crust is so thin. You wanna try it? It's got chunks of coconut in it.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, well, I have to try anything that's made with coconut. And so it's like a desserty. It's sweet. I thought it was like egg-based or something. Oh, yeah. Kind of in the middle, and I'm actually pretty happy right now because I get to use one of my favorite words to describe it. It's gelatinous. There's clearly some gelatin in here that's holding all of those chunks of coconut together in the middle, so it's really not very sweet. I'm gonna try, I want to see if one of these are crispy on top. No, that'd be kind of a neat contrast if it was. Yeah, I like this. It's not too sweet, so you can eat an entire slice quite easily. Oh, yes.
In BGC, we'd go to 7-Eleven for breakfast, and I got this 2 days in a row.
Oh, that's funny, because that's not the only place you had it. When Ekon and Tells took us up to Tagaytay, We had these fresh off the griddle. Okay, watch this when I break it in half. Very flaky. Yeah, see the ube goodness inside? It's like a flattened out hopia. Delicious. And just like the ube hopia, perfectly balanced. I wasn't as big of a fan of the fudge one because it was just so sweet and rich and dense. But this one is a perfect like combination of the saltiness with the ube. Why? Delicious.
You know what's great about these is that they're so delicate. Like the outside, it's almost like paper. Like a little bit of fruit or juice or like jam flavor, ube jam almost, in the middle of like a very delicate thin layer of paper. Super good.
Now I'm gonna try it. Let's see. This one's really, really sweet. It's like a vanilla coconut cheese.
Oh, that's a good way to explain it.
Like both vanilla and coconut.
And that's interesting because ube is actually a root. So it's similar to taro or sweet potato, but it's a lot sweeter than sweet potato, I'd say. I'm gonna take the rest of these. We don't want them to go to waste, and I know Brooklyn is going to love them. So we're gonna put them back in and save them for her at the hotel. We've got one more stop before our ultimate food destination, which is gonna be at La Paz Market. Colt's eyes stopped him as soon as we got outside this store. There's a little stand with gold chains, gold necklaces, and that's something he's really into right now.
I'm like a pirate, you know?
Are you gonna buy a necklace?
Maybe. Depends on how cheap they are.
This one?
Yes, how much?
180.
180. Okay, so that's pretty cheap.
Silver?
The same here.
And it's 180 pesos?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Stainless steel? Oh, wow. I actually have been wanting a stainless steel one that's like very durable here. I like it. Honestly, it's long, but it's really the perfect size. I like it. I think I'm gonna get it, okay? Thank you. Yes.
This is the 10-kilometer boardwalk that we covered in our last episode, along what is now becoming one of the cleanest rivers in the world. It's just a beautiful, safe place to go out for a really long walk without fear of traffic or anything like that. I think our guide yesterday said there's something like 17 bridges in this span.
It'd be easy to lead your family halfway across the wrong bridge. I mean, that's a common mistake anybody could make.
It wouldn't be that easy, but she's saying that because that's what just happened.
We gotta go down this alley. This is the longest walk we're doing of this trip. It was about 15 minutes in the sun.
No,
it
was about 19 minutes with the wrong turn.
A little longer. We're at the right place now. I want to say it's pronounced Molo Deli and Restaurant, home of Don Right gourmet food.
No, I think it's actually Don Rite because it's Spanish. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Oh yes, you're gonna like it in here. So I had heard that this is the most underrated restaurant in IloIlo City. It is a deli, and sometimes they have local sourced cheese and curated meats.
Thank you. I got some lemonade to cool me down. It's so good.
Thank you, thank you. Just a little cosmopolitan to cool me down.
Thank you. So we got their small cured meats and cheese platter so we can sample just a little bit of everything. And we've got a little bit of everything. We've got some prosciutto, some bologna, chili pastrami.
I'm gonna try the bologna, but I'm going to make a little layered goodness. So this is a cherry marmalade. I think it has some vinegar in there and it smells really good. And this one is an appleberry chutney. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the cherry and some nuts. Just a couple of nuts, and I'm gonna do a white cheese. So maybe some saltiness from the nuts, maybe some saltiness from the cheese, sweetness from the cherry marmalade, and then fat from the bologna and from the cheese. Don't mind if I say so myself.
Mom, can you pick up my grape from the stem, please?
I'm gonna eat this instead. This is so good. It's like a meatloaf bologna. My gosh, it's delicious. Best thing on the board.
Thanks. gonna try this little piece of bison salami. Oh, it's so good.
They're all cured and made here in-house. And this place was specifically recommended to us by Janeza, so thank you for the recommendation. And Phil said that's a cherry marmalade, but it's actually a chili marmalade.
I'm pretty sure we've been pronouncing the name of this restaurant wrong the whole time, which isn't surprising, but I've been asking around and I think it's Molo. But if you were up for sitting outside, they have a fantastic patio out there and then you would literally be right on the water. Well, I guess not literally on the water because then you'd be floating, but like right outside with a much better view even than what we have in here. But we needed to cool off, so that's not happening. Especially since now we have a 10-minute walk to our next place. Thank you.
Off to La Paz. We made it by walking La Paz Public Market. There are a few things on our list that I definitely want to try and find, and Cole has something that he's specifically looking for, but otherwise we want to look around, see what sparks Cole's interest. He's really going to lead us from here on out.
Okay, I want to see if we can find something called Ibos. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but it's I-B-O-S. Ibos. I think he's gonna show us some Ibos, so let's see where he takes us. I think he... Oh my gosh. Yes.
Wow, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Fried.
What is it, bud?
So Ibos is like a rice paste inside of some banana. Thank you. Inside of like a banana leaves. Do you have fried Ibos?
Ibos is this one.
Right here. Do you have fried Ibos or just Ibos?
Oh, you want me to fry it for you?
Yes. How long does it take to get it fried?
It will take around 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay, we could do that.
So this Ibo sounded really familiar. Reminds me of when we were in Cebu City on our very first visit to the Philippines almost 2 years ago. And one of the things on our list was a hanging rice pack also in the leaves, wrapped in the leaves. But we just asked them about it, and that one's called butong, and it has sugar in it. So it's a sweeter rice that's steamed inside of the leaves. This one, no sugar.
They don't normally fry these, but Cole had a special request because he had read about it being really delicious fried. So she is taking a liking to Colt and is frying it up just for him. They don't normally do it, but Colt, special kid. We know that. At the deli, he took some lemon to put in his hair to see if he could get some natural highlights, so now his hair is all sticky.
Okay, gonna make this for you. I put it a little bit of sugar or just plain. Gonna put some sugar, small sugar on it. Then you make so like that.
So now that it's fried, I'm just gonna cut in half. It's very hot. So it's really, really hot right now. I don't think I can eat it right now.
Blow on it. Cut up a smaller piece and blow on it.
I think it's good. So we're gonna dip in the sugar, so it's got a little bit of sugar on it. And we're gonna take a bite.
Good bite, it's gonna be hot.
Tastes like sweet popcorn.
It almost smells like popcorn. 100% that tastes like kettle corn because a little bit of saltiness and a little bit of sweetness, the crunchiness, and like I think the fried grain makes it taste like popcorn a little bit. So I could eat this watching a movie. We've got more to go.
Okay, this one's for you.
Thank you.
40 pesos.
Here,
How come you?
no change. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Little boy. Thank you. Maraming salamat. Can I put up like that? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. One of the things that I really wanted to see here was Madge Cafe and get some of their coffee. Could I please get a coffee, please? Freshly brewed coffee?
Yeah.
Freshly brewed coffee?
What coffee would you like to order? With milk or black?
A little bit of milk, please.
A little bit.
Yes.
Is it strong or regular?
I like strong. Thank you. I love this market. Everyone is so kind.
This is your order.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is perfect. So I wanted to try this coffee because of the way they make it. They use the old-fashioned way of making coffee with a kettle and a cloth strainer. It's really good, really strong coffee. I got a little bit of milk in mine because I don't like mine totally black, but I love a strong, strong coffee. And oh my gosh, the aroma of it.
I bet it just really warms you up on a cold day like this.
I don't care, I like my coffee hot. You know, cold drinks when you're hot doesn't actually cool you down.
It absolutely does.
Maybe it does. I just want to feel better about myself.
75.
75? Okay.
Yes.
75 pesos. Salamat. And we're just going right next door to Netung's original La Paz bachoy. I just ordered their special bachoy. It has all the toppings. It's their best seller and probably the best representation of a typical bachoy.
Now, if you caught our last episode, we already had bachoy at a different place called Ted's, just kind of around town. But what's unique about this place in particular is that it is known or said to be the original place where this dish was created. And there it is.
They've been making this since 1940. It has a pork broth, egg noodles, and then the meats on top is a mixture of pork and beef. They use pork intestines and beef loin. That is good. I feel like I need one more bite to be sure. But I'm gonna say that this is better than yesterday's. Oh my gosh, this is good. I want a little bit of the white and the dark and the egg noodles in there, sauce, everything. And the crouton looking things on top, those are pork cracklings. A little bit of crunch in there. I like this a lot. We also learned yesterday that it's called the poor man's soup because they'll give you an unlimited amount of the broth. So if you just eat the broth and leave some of the noodles, or you eat a little bit of the noodles and have a lot left, you can have a whole new soup by asking them for more. Colt, do you want to try a bite?
I'm okay, thank you though.
He's full from that fried rice. What a brilliant little food enthusiast we have here. All right, babe, you gotta try. Tell me if you think it's better than yesterday.
Okay, for sure, because yesterday we had two different kinds of soups, and the bachoy was not my favorite of the two. The pancit was, but pancit molo was. Yeah, it's really good. Trying just the broth, because I think that's one of the things that just makes any soup. It's a very satisfying broth, and I don't remember feeling that way yesterday. But to be fair, as I said in our previous episode, I think that it was probably an unfair advantage for the pancit molo to be able to try that one first, because then just had to compete with it, and bachoy just had a hard time keeping up. But that's really good. Starting fresh today with just the bachoy, that's a very, very good soup.
This is turning out to be probably one of my favorite food tours that we have done. So thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
But we are gonna eat a bit more of this, and we have got to run. We have a flight to catch later today, and again, we still have to pack up. So let's get going, hit the road, get back to the hotel, get back to Brooklyn.
Well, I don't think I would change a thing about that trip. It was the perfect long weekend getaway.
Easy flights, gorgeous beaches, historical and cultural city tours. It was pretty perfect.
And the hotel itself was a great experience because it was very modern. It was a brand new mega world development.
I'm not sure I've seen a more beautiful mall than the one that was right next to our hotel.
And if people want to book this exact trip, they can do that. We'll put that link in the description. I think you can also go to followabc.com/GTTP for Guide to the Philippines, although we do change that, I think, from time to time. So best way, link in the description.
And if you liked this video, then go ahead and give it a like, a comment, say hi to us, and we'll see you in the next episode. We're going to be traveling all over the Philippines, so we hope you follow us along.